to begging for mercy, and I will never stop killing you. Oh shit.
Hi, Scarlet.
It's gaming, isn't it?
Yes,
No, I
it is.
said hi. I just said hi.
No! No! Gaming! 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 Thank you. Revive me.
What the
What? What happened?
Oh, he sniped me!
Oh, righty guys. Let me close out of my Twitch app. Close out of everything. Now for a lot of you, right now, we are still in 1.58. And I'm going to tell you this. Why am I still on 1.58? For those of you, who are wondering why I have shown up in 1.58 rather than 1.59 is because if I were to go and update to 1.59, a lot of my mods would break. And specifically mods pertaining to the 1.59. Mostly pertaining to Project Japan. Project Japan will not run, as you know, Project Japan will not run in 1.59. We have to wait for that to be updated. For those of you who want to have access to Project Japan, you will open up your favorite browser and you will type in Project Japan. Okay? And it's right here. I don't have it bookmarked. I'm going to bookmark that right now as we speak, so that I can remember to come click up here and easily get access to it. Project Japan is the official website for the official Euro Truck Simulator 2. You are going to click on download. It's easy to install. You'll go right here, click on details, and it will basic requirement. It is in Japanese, but you will still be able to manage to run the game without any issues. There is a slight issue when you download Zip 1 and Zip 2. You will need to download both of those to get it to work. But the problem that you're going to see with Project Japan is that you will not be able to have access to other maps. You will not be able to access Europe. You will not be able to access other things. This is right here for Project Japan version 1.58. Okay? Easily able to download. You just need to make sure that when you come in here that you follow the same thing. You go up here to this and you follow this setup. This is how you set up for things like that. 1.59, once we get Project Japan updated, we will utilize that for it. And as you guys know, I also have mods for 1.58 for Europe. I am actually going to most likely just cut out the European stuff. I'm going to be cutting that out and just going with pro mods for that. So I just wanted you guys to know that once pro mods gets updated, that's what I'm going to drop down to. So I just wanted you guys to know that you're using an older version of the game. Steam will automatically update the game unless automatic updates are disabled. Now, Steam, I have it disabled, okay? It will automatically update, but if you are wanting to know how to access your thing, you just go to settings, go to manage, and you go to browse local files. No, you go down to properties, not manage, you go down to properties. And then you go and you click on updates. Okay. Let automatic updates. I just usually let Steam. Okay. But down here, you want to actually go to game versions and betas. The default version was updated May 6, 2026. The public beta was available. But I'm down here utilizing temporary 1.56. And you can go back as far as this for incompatible mods, but I would recommend you just go with the most recent most of the time for it. Anyway, let's get ourselves going. The thing is a couple of things that I wanted to really share for today is that the last little bit I've had also an issue that thankfully nobody has told me. Nobody has told me the issue. I'll be right. Hold on. That nobody has told me the issue of the modification or mods within not mods but nobody has told me that I had some issues where the game files would not show up for audio for when you guys hear things. I fixed that now. It should not disable anything. If it does disable again, let me know. But at least you guys still had that available for us. So I just wanted you guys to know that just as a friendly reminder that there's going to be people that don't know a lot. For these things. Let's go to Freight Market. I am opening some stuff, guys. Give me quite a second here. For Hira is where we're at right now. The Takayama might be there. Now I want to check a thing. If we go to truck services, trailer purchase, the curtain side is right there. For it, in order for us to get a curtain side, we will have to wait. So that's gonna be a thing. Let me go with okay, that looks like that would whoops. That's 17-hour trip time. Yeah, I'm not going to spend my time on route length. So the high pressure valves there. Toyama's got us that tires up that high place there. We do got a mobile crane. For high pressure slide valves though. That's at that place there. Which, to be honest, that's not gonna be an issue, I don't think. I am going to go down here. We're going to go down to Takayama. We're going to go to Freight Market. We're going to take the second most available to us, which is right there. As you know, we do not have the our vehicle up in tip-top shape. But if we can at least get to 5, at least we can be able to then utilize our own. But I don't want to do that just yet, because we need to find a way to... I want to actually, since we're here... yeah. So I am one of those things where, where as I kind of go through today, I'm not gonna get off until 6, but I am going to take a quick break at about 5. At the earliest, 5:15 at the earliest, to go start supper. It's gonna be easy for me. I'm not like I have a thing where I will start the oven. Basically, I'm making pizza for supper. I have somebody around. If I didn't have anybody around, then I would probably say, okay, then I would get off. There, and I'm not gonna get off at 6 directly. It might be 6:30 at the latest, but I do need to be able to do that. But there's this thing that really bothers me um with today, and it's not part of this, but it's one of those things where I have been watching a lot of these things where, I look at the right and I'm trying to take away your right on a lot of things. Like, a lot of people will look at me and say, no, you have, there's some issues that, the right has problems. I'm not, the left has taken away your right. Both sides are taking away your right. Don't kid yourself. Okay? The right is taking away your freedom of speech, taking away your right, the right to your body. The right is taking away your ability to uh, to speak in certain ways, taking away your ability to even have the smells like skunk. But I also I'm getting off at 6 o'clock anyway, at the earliest, because there's not only that that I'm gonna get something to eat, but it's also that I'm gonna work on some dishes and stuff that need to get done, and then I'll be back on about 7:15 at the earliest. I mean 7 o'clock at the earliest, 7:15, 7:30 at the latest. Um, Alright guys, I'll be right back. I gotta check a thing real quick. And yeah, ugh. Yeah, I can tell you, I don't like that smell. Like, there, like, I thought it was something from my computer. Like, because normally I was like, one of my laptop is kind of not doing so well. Um, before it. And so one of the things that really bothered me was the fact of the matter is, like, I'm smelling something that does not sit well with me. And to be honest, the importance of it is like it's people smoking, and there's two things I don't like about. There are three things that I don't like about society. One, I don't like smokers, and I don't like smokers in the sense of it includes marijuana users as well. Like, I don't agree with it. I don't. It's one of those. Those are the only two things that I disagree with the most. That like those are the two things that I will not sit there and actually stand by and actually, like, those are the two things. Like, I don't care if you're drinking, as long as you're doing it safely and as long as you're doing it that way. But I don't like the smell of things like that, and that's just there's only two things that really make me really horrible at it. Is that you're not supposed, like you know, people need to learn about things. Like, you shouldn't be smoking in places, and if you are, yeah, it's one of those things that, but you know, it's to each their own. It's their own choice and their own right to do things, as long as they're not directly harming people. As long as, like, I don't care on ugh, on a lot of these issues. But see, I was watching a video earlier today from Rebel HQ. I haven't watched Rebel HQ in forever. I don't watch Rebel HQ. I don't watch the TYT network. I have them on occasionally, just because, you know. But I was watching a thing where they had a thing where they would have people who are okay, I'm going the right way. Where, like, where I got this idea to really kind of mention that, you know, that there are attack ads out there that are taking jabs at Republicans and taking jabs at them because they're taking away. Right now, if I went out there as a Democrat, I'd still be as a Democrat, okay? Like, we need to do you know, we need to fix a lot of things within society that need to be fixed, that need to be done. And we have to make better decisions in our lives with the way to make our decision based on letting people to make our own decisions, make our own right. God gave us that reason. We shouldn't be banning things unless it's unintentionally, super duper, absolutely willing to harm anybody. Okay? And let me be clear, there are times yeah, okay, hold on, guys. Shift Windows S. Okay, and I'm going to take that picture twice to just save, and then do the same thing again, just to show, and then we'll do one more again. Again, just to show Then I'm going to take this Shift Windows S and save that screenshot there so that they know. And then we'll do Shift Windows S again. Okay, now there's going to be an inside the truck. Save. Okay. Now I'm doing this for purposes, because I'm going to let them know that in the Discord, let me go to Discord real quick, so we can kind of get this fixed in 1.58.9. For it. So write it in English so that they can understand. I need to go to, I don't know why Discord's not opening. It's not opening. I'll fix it later. Just remind me. Actually, let me go to let me go down to System. Let me go down to System Monitor. And then we go over to Discord. If it will pop up. Okay, there we go. Let's go over here. And then technical support. Okay. And pictures, screenshots. Okay. Okay. Well, I'll have to let me hold on, guys. We're gonna hit control.
Begging for mercy, and I will.
All right, we're back. Um. Yeah. Hold on. I'm also going to do a thing here as well. Um. so that they can kind of but other than that, I don't have it anywhere else. Um, for it. But to be honest, a lot of things within, like, giving the freedom to make our decisions, and freedoms to decide that, you know, when we have things that make those decisions for us in our life, um, that we shouldn't be utilizing the way of getting rid of our rights. Everybody should be able to have the right in order to choose, and being able to choose the ability to make those decisions based on certain things. If you are somebody like me who happens to be LGBTQ and decided to make a decision to change someone's gender, that's a right to make that decision. It is also the same thing with the right to be able to make those decisions based on the things that are done by locally, not done by federally, not done by anything. Government shouldn't be involved in people's genders, shouldn't be involved in those things. And I literally went in and asked the other day on the, like, people don't really seem to understand that I literally went and asked Google, okay? Because I had a video the other day where I was watching a guy on Facebook. I watched this debate guy, and one of the things that he had on his video was where this guy basically said that there's only two sexes. There's only two chromosomal types. But didn't even, and said, oh, I went and used Google. Whatever you typed in did not get it. You didn't do your due diligence and actually asked Google. I literally went and asked Google the chromosomal types. And I literally asked that. And there are multiple chromosomal types. There are people out there that do not have the gender marker of an XX or a gender marker of an XY. Or the gender marker of just having one X because there's no Y, and it's like, a lot of these people really don't do their due diligence and just literally believe one thing. I literally went and asked Google and came up with the AI. I literally used AI to ask this question, because literally you'd go and ask Google today, you get the Google Gemini right up there if you ask Google. And I don't care. I'm not somebody that I just went and asked Google because I use two different browser sets. I use Start Page, and then I also use Google. I do search with Start Page first. If I'm not able to find what I'm looking for, then I'll go to Google. Um, you know, and I had literally gone through and had literally asked the AI to basically give to me the other chromosomal types, and it literally did. So it's like people don't seem to, when you look at LGBTQ and things, I'm always a big proponent in talking about LGBTQ topics. It's one of those things that I am learning more and more each day on this issue, because why are you going and literally harming somebody that they can't always make that decision, that you cannot physically, you literally legislate out intersex people that can't make that decision. Intersex people have more than one chromosome, most likely, or one chromosome, or a variation of it in that way, pretty much. And a lot of these people don't seem to quite understand that intersex people exist. That they're a small minority in the world, but they're still there. And a lot of people don't really seem to quite understand that. Now I'm just gonna act like my vehicle was broken. That my vehicle had stalled out. But it's one of those things that, that they want to legislate and take away your right to have a right to even a religion. Because if you actually really think about it, they want to basically say you shouldn't be you should follow the 10 Commandments. And there are a lot of people out there that are not a follower of the 10 Commandments. There are people that are literally do not follow that at all. That do not believe in the 10 Commandments one bit, do not believe in the Bible, do not believe in Christianity in any way, shape, or form. Okay? Because that's the whole point with a lot of these things. That they don't really think these things through to that point of it. And they don't really think about the choices that they make when they decide to legislate one way. Because if you look at the 10 Commandments, which 10 Commandments are you going to follow? The Old 10 Commandments, the Old Testament, or the New Testament? Or are you going to follow the And to be honest, or are you going to follow the um the 12 commandments, the 12 commandments that were given, that God basically gave us two other commandments that were not put in when he talked about the 10 commandments in the section? They're, what are you gonna, why are you forgetting about loving thy neighbor? Like, do you not really see that? And then they go out and say that women can't have bodily autonomy, and want women to basically be subservient to men, and that some women do want to be subservient to men. Let that be. If a woman wants to be submissive in the relationship and goes and follows the man, then that's fine. Let that be. But it should not be forced upon. We should not be forcing upon those things through it. Guys, I'm going to be right back. So give me a minute. I'm gonna go start some supper. I will be right back. Alright, we'll check back and I'll check it in 15 minutes or so. But one of the things that that when I look at things that they want to ban books. They want to ban books because certain books do not align with what they believe. And they do not believe in books in any way, shape, or form, in believing that way. Like, they really think about only so we actually paid a loan total, okay. I am not gonna sit here and wait. Um, I'm not gonna sit and wait. I'm not gonna try to load. Either, because if I load, it's gonna take me back a little bit. So I'm just going to go around them, because a lot of times you'll see a lot of that in here, where the AI will just bug out. And we'll have to be sitting there for it. But so and don't get me wrong. Not being allowed to read a book is like not being able to read a book because it's in a public library. A public library is a place of knowledge. They go and sit there and they ban these books for the express belief of that they want to move LGBTQ books into the adult section because they don't like that these kids are having to learn that these things are in children's books. There are some books that are adult oriented that are like a child's book. Don't get me wrong. Okay. There are places out like that. Let's diesel price is not what it is right now. That's for sure. If we actually did real world gas prices, I think you should still look at and paying that there for it. But there's a lot of other things that really bother me when it comes to banning or banning things because they're going against certain ways or certain beliefs, or going out and believing that everybody should be following that everybody should be following in what they want and only what they want. But then you also got to realize that it goes both ways. You know, a lot of times you'll hear, I think, yep, we're going down here to Tokyo, down here to Dayaku. We haven't gone to Yokoyama, there, down here. So we might increase the Sorry, I had a notification come through that needed to share that, you know, the thing is that they, you know, ban certain things and really make that process of taking away the right to make those things. Like, I understand that we should not be teaching kids in school the dangers and things on that we shouldn't be teaching kids LGBTQ at a young age. But when LGBTQ people get left out, like, a lot of times there are some things that kids should be just being able to learn to play and being able to have a little bit more of that playtime. You know, being less things there, but they should still have, like, story time, being able to make it about those things and having the ability for that. But at the same time, if a teacher decides that, oh, we're just going to read a book because we will going to teach kids how to kind of somewhat read, and you're in preschool, you learn a little bit on that, that's fine. You know, that kids should be able to have at least a little bit, spend more time playing instead of learning a lot, or learning 100% of the time. You know, there should be a little bit, there should be at least, when you go to preschool, it should be half the day should be spent, you know, playing, or basically 80% of that should be, maybe 60 to 70% of that should be playing instead of and still learning. But you know, I don't know, it's one of those things that as somebody who is there, that, you know, LGBTQ people should still be able to be represented, should still be able to be taught to at any age, whether, you know, and if you don't agree with it, then you have every right to learn, to, you know, homeschool your, don't go to preschool then. You know, and don't let your kids go to certain places if you don't want certain things done, certain things read, then really, are you serious? Ay, ay. But, you know, there is this thing that we should be spending less of our time trying to We should be spending our less of our time pushing certain things and pushing things down other people, and basically saying that you need to follow that standard. And of course, we've got a thing that I wanted to also share with you, that we do have a new world leader, it seems. What I mean by that is Canada. Seems to be the new the new world leader. And to be honest, compared to the United States, when Trump decides to pull out of Germany, and Canada's trying to actually stand up and actually go to the European Council, like, you know, you look at the 27 you go and you look at the 27 things of people being 27 European nations that kind of are there, but then Canada kind of just sneaks in. No, they actually are kind of getting help. They are kind of allowing for the defensive fund to basically come to like their defensive world banking for this fund that they're going to be utilizing is coming to Japan, is coming to Canada. The thing for it. And of course, I'm not perfectly capable of showing you guys, telling you everything. The best thing you should really do is go look up Charlie Angus to have really take in on that, and actually take that time to really put in front of that ability to understand what's going on. Okay? But to see that when and to have things set up like that really does make it that much more issue of not being able to get the things that, you know, that basically Trump's saying, oh, NATO's not doing this, NATO's not doing their part. NATO is doing their part. They're just doing their part because, you know, a lot of these countries don't have a lot of funds compared to the United States. Okay? A lot of these people don't. And Trump wants to get us out of NATO. But a lot of these other things that are going on with relations to what's going on with it, is the fact of the matter is that not everything is being done properly. And with the United States basically defending democracy and defending the things that are supposed to be done. You know, the United States has basically fallen on that. Do we go downward? If we go downward, I believe. No. Wait. Am I Okay, I'm gonna... stay put. And hopefully I'm going the right way. Yeah, I'm going the right way. Okay, we're good. But to be honest, it's one of those things where Canada's kind of being butthead. Trump being the butthead, you know, and Canada being becoming the new world leader because they're willing to step up in place of the United States. You know, a lot of things that the United States was getting help from Canada. A lot of times Canada was getting help from us. And Trump wants to have the ability to take that away from us. Take it away from Canada. Canada's just going to find somebody else. Canada's just going to find other things that they're going to be able to do to help other countries. You know, they're willing to stand up and help Ukraine. They're willing to stand up and fight the regime of Russia. And, you know, I have a sneaky suspicion that, you know, Japan is kind of also going to be following that same exact suit as the United States in some regards, because they literally, one of the things that I was reading about is that Takaishi, the current prime minister, wants to get rid of illegal foreigners. Of course, no country should have illegal foreigners. But at the same time, it's like, how about actually figuring out why they're still there? Figuring out why the 63,000 are still there and figure out a way to help them. And figure out, instead of just basically trying to rid of all foreigners to coming into Japan. Because the point of the matter is that we have to figure out ways to fix and make these things better. And to make it so that, you know, that we should be out there and being able to we should have been the ones out there working and out there making better lives for a lot of people, but we are not doing that anymore. We are lost of USAID, for that matter, and other things. But I will tell you this, guys, that's just one of those things that really does bother me on that front. And it bothers me because we're not doing is taking loving and caring for our neighbors. Okay? We aren't doing that. And being taking care of loving our neighbors includes Canada. It includes the um it includes the Mexico. It includes, you know, Japan, because Japan is technically can technically be our neighbor. And it includes um okay, that's just basically parking there, so I haven't been down this way. I haven't been down in Tokyo for a while. Um, down on this side of the continent. But, you know, a lot of things relate to Japan and being um, there and not and spending less of that time. Um, we're spending less of our time helping others, and I know I'm not perfect at doing that myself, um, and I need to be better about it because of it. But um, on it. But I will tell you this, that you know, one of the things that uh, that I wanted to really come in, and I'll share with you guys here in a minute, um, with the Guitar Hero and Rock Band and the history on some of that stuff, because there's some light that if you guys want to see some of that, I will talk about that in the near future. But I am going to tell you before we say that, you know, that that Yamaha Logitech. Okay. Well, we are now out of that kind of thing. So, anyway, we'll take a look at that and the history on some things, some light that came up with it. But we will talk about that after I get back. I'm gonna take a quick break. More like a 15-minute, like a 5-minute break. Because I'm gonna go check up on the oven, making sure that I get supper ready because I need to have supper ready by 6. Um, it won't be quite ready by 6. It'll be a little bit after 6. But anyway, I will be right back. Um, anyway, I forgot to mention that I was checking around here. I forgot to push the thing to come back. Um, we're going down here to Yokohama. Um, Yokohama. Going down there. Um, to make sure, if there is relatively anything there for that extract, purpose. Um, Now, of course, I am going to tell you tonight, um, basically, as soon as I am done, as soon as I got 17 minutes, um, 16 minutes left, to check, so I am not going to be staying on for too long. Um, but see, there's that way, going around that way, which I'm going to Tokyo up there, but I am checking, Yokohama, for, anything that I can take from there, because I want to, you know, travel and make sure that I hit, we haven't gone to Matazudo, but I don't think we'll ever get there because there's nothing there for me to grab anyway, so it's going to be one of those things that we might not ever hit. I haven't gone down to the village down there. Um, you know, we haven't gone all the way down into the IKEA in that place there. And we haven't been down here to Suzuka. So, so, but we have this thing that I wanted to really come in and share with you guys about a little bit about the history of Clone Hero and Guitar Hero and Rock Band, to be more precise, a little bit. I'm not like going into talking about that as an entire thing, but yeah. No, fudge. I'm so could have gone that way. I so could have gone that way. But like, why would it have it almost tip me over? Over right there. I don't get it. We're gonna load back. I don't care. I don't really care too much. On and there's nothing there for me to go that way anyways, so But one of the things that has really gotten me into a lot of video gaming, or into a lot of variety of music, is Rock Band and Guitar Hero. Where Rock Band and Guitar Hero have been basically one of the lights of the history on me enjoying music and enjoying that importance. And we did get a red light violation, whatever. Okay, so now it's telling me to go that way when I can go straight, so it doesn't matter. But one of the things that inspired me to pick up this, to play this, okay, this Guitar Hero thing. I'll tell you, I've been playing Guitar Hero for a long time. I played Guitar Hero when Guitar Hero 1, way back in the day when Guitar Hero was around. The first time Guitar Hero came out, I was, floored by it. I loved that. I have played it since then, and I've played it every step of the way. Okay, every iteration of Guitar Hero except for Guitar Hero Live, every Rock Band title, I have played except for the track packs for exclusive. Oh, really? Except for every Rock Band title specifically for what it's worth, with every Rock Band title except for the mobile versions of these games, the phone versions. I have not played any of these phone games, to be honest, and that's fine. I'm not somebody that's going out and looking for the phone versions of these things, but yeah, I can go because that light is green. It'll turn to yellow. But one of those things that and I've played every Guitar Hero title too. I've played every single Guitar Hero title. I do not own every single Guitar Hero title. And I'll tell you, the only title that I have not played specifically is Guitar Hero that I have not played or owned. That I played but I've not owned is Van Halen. And one that I have not played or owned is Guitar Hero Live. I am not somebody that is a complete fanatic for the 6-fret one. But I have played every single version, every single of those, and I have not played. I'm not talking about the mobile versions of stuff, because to be honest, I have not played like the Guitar Hero on DS and stuff. I've played like the demo of it, like of those kiosks, but I never really I never really played those those the DS stuff for Guitar Hero and stuff. I did play the Rock Band games through Unplugged, and I've played Rock Band 3 on it. I have not played Rocksmith. I have not played any game related to that or Rock Revolution or anything of that nature. But I have, and I will tell you that going through and playing some of these games, you know, as somebody who basically played it since she was little young, since, you know, playing Guitar Hero 1, and loving every single version, loving every single Guitar Hero game. I pretty much basically, except for Warriors of Rock, you know, I don't like Warriors of Rock, to be honest. Warriors of Rock is not something that I pick and I play because I used to own that game. I don't like it. I don't like Warriors of Rock. It was one of the worst titles known to me. It's not the worst title though. I actually have gone and played Smash Hits. I don't like Smash Hits. I don't like it. It's nothing against yeah, we got apples. We got apples down here. So since we do have that available, let's go and check you out. Because now that we have it discoverable, it's supposed to be 40. But going through and looking at, you know, what the fuck? Hug. I don't get it. Like sometimes I do swear, but it's very it's like I don't try to do it very often though, but that one is just like, are you serious? No, I could also go to the right there as well, but I'm going to go to the left because why not? We're going to go pick this up, but after I pick this up, I am pretty much going to take that break. And we'll be back again on we'll be back again on Friday with this. But one of the things that that I really spend some time looking into with these games, like, you know, I've been watching a lot of things where I started pretty much basically playing on controller. Really got into it. I played a little bit of the guitar before, but I really took into utilizing the gamepad on the GH3 and really playing through the game itself and taking into that point of just starting there, and that's where I started learning how to get to expert and playing songs that do the gamepad, and now going through and through it and that now coming into seeing the history of it. You know, there's this history of going through and actually going through the history of the game itself. You guys can go check out Selbit, Selbit, but make sure that when you do search for it, that you search Selbit, but make sure that you type in Selbit Rock Band, so that you can, or Guitar Hero, so you can find a lot of that information. Because that's the place where you want to find that information. You want to find that opportunity to really take in the sites of older video games and understanding the history of the game itself and understanding that, you know, for me to basically say, you know, playing, you know, Guitar Hero 1 pretty much basically back in early 2000s, really spending that time in the early days of the game, coming down to being full circle to basically now being able to have a choice of playing Yarg, Clone Hero, Fortnite, Rock Band, Guitar Hero 3 emulation, being able to play however you want to play. And to be honest, you can pick a lot of that, and being able to just have some fun. And to be honest, the history of it all is really, really nice to really learn, and learning through Lore Hero and through their podcast, and learning, just experiencing these things from all of the history of the Guitar Hero, Rock Band, rhythm game type style for it. But I will tell you this, guys, I'm gonna get off. So hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure you guys follow, because here on Twitch I will be back at about 7 o'clock, playing 7:15, playing some Save the World for a little bit of that Fortnite, because it is free to play now. But we will go to Takayama again, coming down here. We'll take that on Friday. So if you want to see that content, it's always great to be subscribed here on YouTube, and followed here on Twitch, because that's where we will do a lot of that. And tomorrow we'll get into some Final Fantasy 13 again. I am going to do that, and then if you guys want to see Yarg or want to see some Clone Hero and stuff like that, let me know, because I'm going to not for the next couple of days. Probably next time will probably be maybe Sunday at some point, maybe. But and then if you do that, it will be exclusively on Twitch, so always be followed here as well. because of copyrighted issues and things like that. But anyway, we'll catch you guys later. And make sure that when you guys hit that subscribe here on YouTube, make sure you hit that bell notification. It's free to do so. When you hit that bell notification, it will set it to all so that you can get all my content. Because sometimes I forget to post to Discord like I did today. Or you guys can follow me on Blue Sky, where I'll post there as well. But anyway,